The Rebel Capitalist Show.
Back in the good old days, before the Fed was intervening and we had all this central planning, when we had more of a free market, you would look at the property that you just purchased as the asset, and the debt, the mortgage, would be the liability, right?
Right.
But now it's like the prices of real estate are very, very high, and a lot of people, that aren't local experts might be overpaying, but they're getting this on like a 30-year fixed rate mortgage that's at 3%, let's say. So if they are cash flow positive, and if we do get a delta between the rate of inflation, say it runs at 5%, and their interest rate is 3%, that's a transfer of wealth, purchasing power, from the lender to them, the borrower. So it's almost like we've created this perverse world where the property is the liability and the mortgage is actually the asset. What do you think?
I mean, what you're doing is it's like a call option on interest rates here,
Yeah, and I would assume too that when you're talking about the amount of real estate that you own, yet you actually took out more. So now, how many of those properties do you have a fixed rate mortgage on?
Probably, let's see, I've got 2 short-term notes and the rest are all 30-year fixed.
Wow.
So 2 are short-term that are probably I'm going to flip out of them. But yeah, the others are all 30-year fixed.
That's incredible. So let me just, for the viewer here, let me just walk through what Kevin's doing from a macro standpoint. He's basically going in, he's making money on the buy side. He's getting a wedge deal, let's say, meaning he's buying it under the current market value. He's forcing appreciation through a remodel. He's increasing the amount of ROI he's getting with his cash flow, because his cost basis is a lot less than just going in and buying retail off the MLS. So he's got higher cash flow, most likely in his case, because he's an expert, a positive cash flow on most of his properties. So he's being paid monthly to short the dollar. Okay.
Yeah.
Because when inflation, the cost of consumer goods goes up, the value of dollars goes down. So he's paying back, let's say, $15-20 million worth of loans in devalued dollars year after year after year, and that compounds, right? So you take it to its extreme, and let's say that in 10 years we go through severe inflation, is hypothetically, and let's just say that just to take it to an extreme, a ridiculous extreme, let's say a loaf of bread, it costs $1 million, right? We go.
Sure.
So then what Kevin could do is he would basically pay off those loans with what he would have paid at the local grocery store for a loaf of bread. But those homes would most likely have a similar amount of purchasing power than when he bought them initially.
Right.
See, that's the transfer of wealth from the lender to the borrower. And I don't know whether you thought that through, but regardless of whether you did, that's what you're executing. And I think that is a brilliant strategy.
The more inflation there is, the easier it is for me to pay off my debt, because the more inflation there is, the more the cost of my services go up, the more cost the ad rates on YouTube go up, the more I get paid, the easier it is to pay the bills. It's having that debt is and that inflation protection, probably one of the top reasons to buy real estate and not rent.
Yeah, for sure. So how do you go about getting a wedge deal? If you had to give some advice to aspiring real estate investors, how would you tell them to do that? Because that is crucial. You have to make money on the buy side or get a wedge deal. That's where you make all the money. It's not made when you sell, it's made when you buy.
Yeah, exactly. That was actually, I'm going to pull something up here that I could show, but that was one of my big beefs with Grant Cardone. Is he would always say, I don't care if I got to pay over market value. I'll be able to sell it to BlackRock for 30% more in a few years or whatever, right? And that's probably, it could potentially be true, right? You get some cash flow in the meantime, you get the principal pay down, you get the inflation protection. But yeah, I mean, I'd much prefer to pay under market value for something. That's something I can't do in stocks. When I buy Tesla or whatever stock I'm buying, I'm paying market value in that moment of time. Yeah, when buy a real estate deal under market value, I am buying something that I know is cheaper than it should be. And
Right.
that's almost solely because people are entirely clueless about construction.
People have to realize that one of the benefits to real estate is it's a very inefficient market.
Oh, God.
Where if gold is trading at $2,000 an ounce, I can't get anyone to sell it to me for 1,500. It's not going to happen.
Right.
But with real estate, if you've got a house that's potentially, let's just say $200,000, if you find a motivated seller, or if you're the first person they go to because you've got that local network, then you can potentially get these deals. It's very hard to do it nowadays. But when the market goes maybe back down to reality, or maybe back down to where it's a little more of a buyer's market, then those deals are out there.
That's one of the things is real estate becomes such a matter of becoming good at negotiating with people and,
Right,
and convincing them that, hey, you're the best buyer. Sometimes people will go with a buyer because they got the cutest family or the cute story, or they give a seller flexibility in a way that somebody else isn't. There's so many different reasons people give away deals, I always say. And it's always a matter when you're negotiating real estate of finding what are the pain points and how could you solve those while still making money. So I'll pull this up here. This what I'm going to show here is probably my favorite because it was a hoarder house. When you go up to a property and it looks like this on the outside already, you already know that you're looking at something with some potential here. But you go inside, what's hilarious is when you go in and it's stinky and gross like this, most people come into a property like this and they think, oh my gosh, this is going to cost $150,000. Everything needs to be torn out. Everything's got to be redone. Things are stinky. They're gross. They're mildewy and all this. And people are so highly overvaluing what it's going to cost to clean this kitchen up, for example, here.
Exactly.
So I look at a property like this, and I went in with a $50,000 budget. I ended up, as usual, spending 10% more, spending $55,000. And so where the market thought I had to spend $150,000 remodeling this, I spent $50,000. I ended up keeping the cabinets and painting them.
Just change the hardware.
Basically change the hardware and paint it, right? I'll show you the after as well. But I mean, I could go in here, I could glaze the kitchen, I could throw all the stuff away, or not the kitchen, I could glaze the bathroom tile, make it all look like it's new white tile. And I'm able to take advantage of things where people don't even know what glazing is. People don't even know you could keep these cabinets. People don't know I could keep the doors. People don't look under the vanity when a house looks like this to determine, oh, it's got copper plumbing. Wow, they're dual pane windows. Nobody's looking at that. I am. That's where I'm making my money.
Do you have any of the after pictures?
Yeah, I do.
Great. Look at that. Unbelievable.
Yeah. And then here's the kitchen. Same cabinets.
Whoa.
You can see these are the same original wood cabinets here. So to me, I mean, it's just a no-brainer. And it's simple. I don't have to go in and do crazy things. I mean, floor paint, baseboards. We paint goes so far. I mean, look at this. This was that same green tiling you saw earlier. I hadn't put the plumbing in yet, but when I scanned it. But anyway, yeah.
This is just incredible. And it's so, I mean, changing the floors or what, it just really makes it pop. It's just
getting the stuff out of there.
Yeah.
I can even go outside. I try to keep it something simple in California. I do grass in the front, and in the back, I just try to clean it up and keep it simple. I pressure wash that wall later. I scanned too early, but whatever. But yeah, I mean, so simple,
That's right. So you go in, you get a deal that nobody wants or people are scared to touch. They won't even walk in the front door. I mean, 99% of people wouldn't even walk in that front door. And because what you're seeing right there, viewers, you're probably saying to yourself, oh my gosh, how could someone have a house in that condition? But trust me, it gets way worse than that if you were able to actually smell the house. See, I don't have smell-o-vision right now on YouTube. If you could actually smell that house, trust me, it's 10 times worse than what you just saw. So, but it's just a great example of buying something that's kind of unloved, fixing it up, forcing that appreciation, and then increasing your ROI. With that cash flow, your cost basis is so much lower, and I'm sure you're able to get that deal because you're a local expert. I don't know if you found it that way, but you knew the comp, so you knew what you could spend. And then it's about managing people and solving problems. That, people always ask me about how to become a successful entrepreneur. So you got to have ambition. You got to be willing to sacrifice things that other people are not willing to sacrifice. You have to be able to manage people, and you have to be able to solve problems. So you were able to kind of take all of those things, put them together, and turn that into a fantastic rental property. Now, do you have a 30-year fixed rate loan on that one?
Heck yeah, it's like 3.2 or something like that. It's nuts.
Boom. There you go.